Good morning. My name is Bernard, and today I am here to talk to you about RetSynth. Our software accelerates the R&D process associated with biological production of high-value products, saving you time and money. Additional modules that we've developed help maximize theoretical yield, ensuring maximum profit with minimal experimentation. In other words, we're your one-stop shop for synthetic biology. What is synthetic biology? SynBio is one of the tools that we have at our disposal for solving the world's biggest problems today. For example, carbon dioxide emissions are at an all-time high, and marine plastic pollution costs the world up to $2.5 trillion a year in environmental damage. SynBio has come up with some solutions for some of these problems, but for a whole lot of money. For the most part, these are multi-year, multi-million-dollar projects, and it's very difficult to scale these up from lab to market. Retrosynthetic analysis is the process of breaking down a final product into its many ingredients and breaking down each of those ingredients until each component is readily available either commercially or biologically. For example, if you wanted to make this promising biodiesel compound and you're an astute chemist, you might notice that you can break it down into lactic acid and isobutanol. You know that both of these are readily available biologically, but you're not quite sure how to make it. So you read some books, you check the internet, read some research articles, and eventually you come to the conclusion that lactobacillus is a common strain of bacteria capable of making both of these compounds. But that's only the first two steps in a very long process. If you want to maximize your product yield, you also need to identify your metabolic pathway, make any necessary genetic modifications, grow your fermentation, and separate your product from your fermentation tank. Along the way, you might run into some hiccups, causing you to go back a couple steps, or even start the whole process over. The biggest problem is here's the guy that you're paying to do it. He has a PhD in synthetic biology and a hefty salary that goes with it. Until he can figure out how to maximize your product yield, you're not making any money. Let's suppose you want to make mac and cheese for today's potluck. You don't have time to go to many different stores. So the store that you do go to needs to have everything that you need, including your recipe book, all of your ingredients, and the pot to make your final product. That's what RetSynth will do for you in the world of synthetic biology. My name is Bernard Nguyen. I'm a computational biologist at Sandia National Labs, and I'm one of the software developers behind RetSynth, your one-stop shop for SynBio. Let's see how RetSynth can make production of this biocompatible, biodegradable plastic much simpler. Instead of doing all of the research, RetSynth will tell you an organism capable of making something very similar, the necessary genetic modifications that you need to make, as well as the sugars and proteins you need to feed it in order to grow your fermentation. Once you have your final product, this biocompatible, biodegradable plastic, you can make a lot of money because it has applications in cosmetics, agriculture, pharmaceuticals, and medicine. That's not all. For the most part, most retrosynthetic software is capable of identifying the optimal as well as the suboptimal pathways to production. What really sets RetSynth apart is that we've incorporated a chemical reactions database, as well as developed 3 modules that will maximize your product yield. The chemical reactions database enables you to find biological as well as chemical reactions, as well as hybrid pathways to production for your target compound. The 3 modules that maximize your product yield are flux balance analysis, separation properties, and gene compatibility. For the most part, none of our competitors offer these capabilities. Flux balance analysis will knock out any divergent or competing pathways, ensuring that the carbon goes towards the product you want and none of the byproducts that you don't need. Separation properties is specific to hybrid pathways to production. It'll prioritize any intermediates with favorable separation properties, meaning if the final target compound is too difficult to separate from your fermentation tank, you might be better off going one step back, separating that compound, and then upgrading it through chemistry at higher yields. Gene compatibility maximizes gene expression for non-native enzymes, meaning any genes that you take from one organism and incorporate it into your new organism has the best likelihood of being expressed. Here's what the global synthetic biology market looks like in 2024, according to 2019 projections. It is an $18.9 billion market, and for the most part, RetSynth has applications in all of these industries. But at first, we would target research and industrial chemicals. Research is key because when RetSynth is cited in research articles, it'll give us free exposure and advertising for customer acquisition. Industrial chemicals will be where we'll be making most of our money at first. For example, Dow Chemicals, a chemical manufacturer, has listed sustainability goals for 2025 on their website. These goals include advancing a circular economy and developing safe materials for a sustainable planet. RetSynth can help them achieve these goals while also helping them save time and money and maximizing product yield. RetSynth will come in a free trial version, which will be run on your local computer. This free trial will have 3 model microbes common to biological research, as well as a limited set of reactions. And it will be able to identify all the pathways to production for your target compound. Once you get a feel for how RetSynth works and you like it, you can upgrade to a premium software subscription. This will be run on the cloud, meaning you can run multiple queries in parallel, and it'll also have access to all the advanced analyses, such as flux balance analysis, separation properties, and gene compatibility. This software will also come with the premium RetSynth database, which has over 10,000 organisms, 100 million molecules, 40 million reactions, and will be tailored by industry, meaning industrial chemicals will have a different database than food and beverages. The best part about our premium software is that you can incorporate your proprietary reactions. So if you're a startup or a research lab, you have your own reactions that nobody else knows about, your secret sauce, you can incorporate it into the RetSynth software, and it will help identify pathways to production that include those reactions. Here's what the timeline looks like for RetSynth. We started development in June 2018. We published a research article in September 2019, and we got a commercial copyright assertion in May 2020. Since then, we've also used RetSynth in a couple projects here at Sandia, proving that it is capable of being used in a research context. Once we get funded, the first step will be outreach to strategic commercialization partners. If you know anything about hosting software from a national security lab, you know that it's impossible. We can't do it. And in that case, we'll need to license our software out to a commercialization partner, such as the American Chemical Society, and they can license our software and host RetSynth for us. In terms of software development, we'll need to do some distributed systems compatibility and front-end development. RetSynth is mostly made to run on your local computer right now. It's not made to scale up to a server, and so that'll require some work on the distributed system side. In terms of front-end development, we really need to enhance the user interface, make sure it's simple, easy to use. And about a year after funding, we'd be able to launch. In terms of cost and revenue, here's what the relative cost and revenue models will look like. The first couple years will be mostly software development, as well as a little bit of customer acquisition. But by year 3 and year 4, RetSynth will really start to become profitable. We'll offer a premium subscription to institutions such as national labs, industrial chemical companies, and academic institutions. And if traction grows, we can also offer RetSynth as a service, which will be a consulting service for small startups that only need to use RetSynth once, but need access to the full suite of capabilities. Here's the team behind RetSynth. Corey Hudson is my manager and the former principal investigator behind the RetSynth project. Leanne Whitmore was his postdoc at Sandia. She has since left us and become a research engineer at the Department of Immunology at the University of Washington, but she is still contracted today to do some work on RetSynth. And that's RetSynth for you, your one-stop shop for synthetic biology. Thank you.